Yeah. Hi everyone. Good morning and good evening if you are into different time zones. Thanks for joining today's Salesforce QA testing online training from svtechsoft. Our trainer is Monica. She has around some 10 plus years of experience into Salesforce testing. She will take over for today's demo. Monica, I am giving host to you. You can start for today's demo. In meanwhile, people. Yeah. Please introduce yourself, then you can start today's demo. Yeah. I given host to you. Now we can share your screen.
Yeah, so hello everyone. So I hope everyone are doing good. So I'm Monica. So basically a trainer from svtechsoft. So I'm going through the trainings related to Salesforce QA and admin as well, what we cover in the online courses. So it's basically we will work on Salesforce testing projects where you will be trained on the real-time projects and you can like crack interview further. So let me start so everyone can, I hope like everyone can visible my screen. So if anyone have some problem, you can raise your hands or let me know. And first we'll go for all the demo and all the concepts, what all we are going to cover. It's a quite a simple demo, but we will cover like almost what you will be going to take in the further of your career Salesforce testing process and all. So at last, I think you can shoot out questions to me if you have any. So our agenda basically on Salesforce testing is related to what all the topics we'll cover in your like a training period. Okay, like first basically we'll go with why software testing and why basically a testing is needed and the main concept of why Salesforce. And when we come up the topic of Salesforce, obviously the CRM comes into picture because Salesforce has built on a CRM software. And then why only Salesforce testing? Why we are not going for a manual testing? Why we are opting for Salesforce testing? And then what are the Salesforce key terminologies? We'll not go into deep of any of the Salesforce key terminologies, but a basic of idea how the system works and for the business process and all. And why Salesforce testing and the project methodologies and why Salesforce, what is the testing strategy that we are going to cover and the roles and responsibilities of a tester and how we will provide our interview tips and what are the certifications you can go ahead. And then you can shoot out questions if you have any. Okay, so first, let me start with why testing is needed basically. So whenever we take up any client requirement, whatever it is, it may be a e-commerce application, it may be any of the applications, it may be a product or it may be a software application, whatever. If you think a normal glass, if someone like just create like build up a whatever application or whatever product it is, okay, testing is very mandatory to deliver the product, a very quality product to the customer. So how much development is done on a product, so without testing no one can deliver a product to a customer or the business, because testing is very much important so that the customer will have a very good user experience. So that's the reason. So never think that so we are opting for a testing career and it will slow down our career or what, like how we are going to go in the further stages of our career. So if testing means it's a type of some work experience where it has a low grade of career or something so on. So for every whatever a software company or whatever product based company or whatever type of a testing team is very much required for a product. I think a quality assurance, a quality control need to be done to a product before they deliver the product, so that it will give a very good user experience. So if testing is not done properly, obviously the product may not be used correctly or the users will not get a very good experience so that they can improve their business worldwide or whatever it is. So that's the reason for every team a testing is mandatory. So the scope of testing, so you can say how the career goes on. So how the scope of testing will be. So for whatever team, if a development team is there, obviously a testing team should be there. If you can take a ratio of, if 2 developers are working on one project, obviously they need a 1 tester. So how many projects, like obviously a project need to be developed, right? So how many projects will be there? So the count of it will be 2 developers, 1 tester. So 100% sure the testing scope will be more, and like the schedules or the career growth or the interview calls will be in the higher ratio. So there is no thinking that only the development or the admin process or like something related to technical only works out. 100% sure the functionality part also need to be worked on. So that's the reason we have business analysts, we have solution architects, we have the quality assurance people, quality control people. So these people all travel on the functional side, whereas the technical architects, whereas the product owners, whereas the developers will be traveling on the technical part. So we have two difference of parts in every way of company or like every way of process of business. We have a technical part, we have the functionality part. So testing will be completely on the functionality part. A QA will be focused on the functionality part. So the career growth, 100% it will be sure, like once you go into the testing part, then it can be included. You can go through your career as a business analyst later, because a business analyst or a solution architect are the people who focus on the functionality as well. So you can plan a career in that way. So I can assure that the testing is not less than to anything. Okay, so let's go for the other screen. So what is Salesforce basically? So like I think before you coming to your session also, like you people also had some like a view on Salesforce, or like what it may be, and the people who are new to Salesforce, at least, like I'll just give a minimum of idea. Okay, so basically it is a cloud-based software, so that is designed to help business and find more prospects, close more deals, and wow customers with an amazing services. So it's basically, we have different clouds. What was introduced in Salesforce, it's a cloud-based where you can just give a username and password and log into Salesforce. So that's how a business is more focusing nowadays to Salesforce application. So when we come and when we speak about Salesforce, obviously like we'll get a CRM into the picture. So CRM like is nothing but it's a software related where it manages all your company's relationships and interactions with the customers and the potential customers. Whatever business it is, so there should be an interaction with the customer as well. So how much the interaction with the customer, how much the data you stored upon the customer, and how you are reacting to a customer, that is what it includes and move your business a more wider. So it interacts with the customers and potential customers in such a way that they will get daily updates. They can include like they can get the best services, and like you can say when you go to a bank, a agent will be traveling throughout you, so that you will get a very good experience with the loan process or credit process, whatever it is. So the best way here, like banking, you will be getting a direct agent, or otherwise if you go through an online, one person will be traveling with you, right? So your data will be stored somewhere so that you'll get a very good customer experience. So that's what the Salesforce does basically. So it stores all your information and it gives you a very good customer experience. That's what a CRM basically. So the goal is simple: improve your business relationships. System helps company to stay connected to customers, streamline the process, and improve the profitability. So we have number of CRM like platforms. For example, we have HubSpot, we have like different CRMs. So Salesforce is one of the CRM which is built on a like CRM platform, CRM software. Okay, so we have different clouds in Salesforce. So coming to like we have it had its own features. So when you log into your Salesforce, you can easily adapt like different applications in one org. That's what basically it does. But it has number of cloud features as well. So it has its marketing cloud features, it has its service cloud features, it has its sales cloud features, and it has its healthcare related features. There's so many clouds that like a Salesforce has been introduced so that they can have their own business in their own cloud. Okay, so why these, like what we will be going in our training sessions is like we will be taking either the project of a sales cloud or a service cloud, and we will be going up how the projects will, like how you will be working on a sales related project or a service related project, and how you will be testing your application, what is the concept of a sales process, what is the concept of the service cloud process. And if the project comes on, you can have a picture on the marketing cloud as well. But we'll be taking some 2 or 3 clouds for an example, and you will be guided in the projects on the Salesforce. Yes, so the next one. So why Salesforce testing? So many of, when you think the planning of testing, so there will be a lot of questions like manual testing or automation testing, what level of testing we need to go on. Yeah, sorry, is there someone? Okay, fine, I'll continue. Just let me know if you have any questions, but mostly we'll take up all the questions at the last of the session. Okay, so you will be coming with a lot of questions in your mind, that automation testing or manual testing, how like the testing career will be there, how we are going to take it up. So automation testing, I can say, like you need to learn some code. So obviously automation testing has some scope. I don't say no, but you need to learn some like a code, and then you need to go upon that, and you can work on automation projects. And then coming to manual testing. So why a testing? So as we discussed before, why testing is very mandatory to any of the projects. So what is this manual testing? So basically we'll give some random data and we'll check how the system is working, how the functionality of the system is working, and based on the requirement that the client gave, so whether the system we had built is working perfectly or not, whether it is giving the best user experience or not. So basically we'll give some random, whatever it is, you think a e-commerce application, or you think a Flipkart application, like you think Amazon service, whatever it is. So when you need to test it manually, you need to give some random data with your own, which doesn't need any code. So it's just basically whoever the new people comes into this testing environment can easily adapt to the system, so that they don't need any dependencies, they don't need any coding structure. It's just a KT provider, I can say. So someone if can guide you, so if someone can push you, if someone can give you the requirement, you can just take it up the requirement, and you can just simply give some random data and can check your functionality of the application. So there are no need of training, there is no need of someone to push you, nothing. It's just thing is you need to learn some testing concepts, you need to learn how you need to go upon the application, how you need to work on the application and all. So that the projects KTs or something is like, it's okay, fine, it will go on. But later, why we are going only for the Salesforce testing and not for the manual testing? Suppose if you work on manual testing, so at present you're working on an e-commerce application. So the project may be for more than 1 year, or like 15 months or 2 years. Okay, so later after you move to the another project, there is no sure that you will be working on e-commerce application. It's that you can move to the another application. So suppose, so if you're 2 years you're working on a project, or 1 year you're working on a project, and you're moving to another domain onto the another project, because it's not sure that you will be getting the same project line or the same application what you're going to work. So how you draft your career here? So how you think you can go with your career, that when you're changing your application, so obviously the functionality changes. Again, you need to adopt your new system. Maybe the process of giving random data or giving the manual data may be same, but it is like how you'll adopt to a new system. Again, it's a new. So if that project at least give you a 3 months or 6 months of period, again, if you're moving to another application, it is one more of different domain, right? So here the learning scope or whatever you learn will be a very less, I can say, very minimum, because giving random data and just checking the application, nothing you will learn mostly. So it's like that's the reason we have introduced, like we were going with the Salesforce testing, because whenever a Salesforce needs a developer team, they also need a testing team. So why we are offering only Salesforce testing, a different type of a training classes? So when you take up a Salesforce testing concept, okay, when you come up to the Salesforce testing domain, Here, when you come into the domain, you'll be working on this domain all your lifetime till you think, okay, let's stop with Salesforce. Because it's been increasing, it's been developing, it's been introducing new features every day, like everyday life. So there is no prospect like you'll be stopping with the Salesforce application unless you think to stop it. Okay. So you will be working on Salesforce application. It may be the different of clouds, but the features or the application system or the functionality system remains same. So once you enter into the Salesforce testing career, if you took one project, maybe you will be like new to the system. Okay, you will be like going with a random data. Okay, but it can't take mostly 2 more months to adopt Salesforce. Okay, and it's simple when you go into a testing process. First, whatever everyone suggests is going with a minimal step of view, so that later you can climb your steps to a further career growth. So once you go into the Salesforce related application, you can learn the functionality of the application as well, because you will not be changing your domain later on point of view after you finish up one of the project. So once you finish up one of your project, obviously you can take one more project related to Salesforce. That's what you drive your career on a Salesforce application only. And so that what is the main importance or useful how you get from this domain. So we have in Salesforce almost 70% is admin related. So even this can be learned by anyone. So the thing is, but why you want to start with Salesforce testing only is, if you directly jump into the admin courses or like a development courses directly, once you will be okay, you think okay, the concept is fine, okay, I can drive, and you cracked an interview, okay, you're going into your project. But later when it's coming to a coding structure or a configuration structure or the customized structure, whatever it is, you need some lot of like dependency on someone. You need someone to support you, because code is something not what only you learn it. Okay, and basically when you come to a new project, the real time the experience being changing, you may get a different type of code, you need to like configure different type, which like every like I can say you can't go with every type of requirement. But if you go with testing, the process is same. You need to understand the requirement, but you will be testing the application. So first you can test your application. Same well backend, you can learn what basically a Salesforce admin or configurations or customization can do. In both way, you can work on a project in real time, as well as that time you can learn the backend structure as well, because Salesforce provides a user experience like anyone can learn through trailheads. We have different tools, many platforms to learn Salesforce backend structure as well. So you can first adopt into the technology first. You can work on a project, real-time projects. You can work in a company, and then you can backend. You can whatever you want to drive. If you want to go on a functionality side, then you can drive your career as a business analyst later after testing projects. Or if you want to go technical part, so as of now, you are adapted to application. So you work for 1 year on the application. So now you want to think like you just thought like, okay, let me drive to a technical part. Then it's simple to learn you in your project itself. You can take your developers help. You can take your like a project manager's help, and you can take sessions in your project itself, so that it is very easy to adopt something further later point of view. So that's the reason you can just start with the Salesforce testing first, go into an environment, settle down there, and then go with the next level of that like whatever structure you need. Okay, that's the reason why Salesforce testing is like you can opt it, why you can go on. Okay, so let us go with the other slide. So key terminology. So this is like completely, it's a new for you people. I think like if I go into deep also, like nothing can be understandable. So these key terminologies is nothing but how in a Salesforce, how the features are called. So if I say you an application, so it's just an application for you. Think like, okay, it's an application. If I say about your sales cloud or the service cloud, they have some features because it's a pre-built application. So if someone go to Salesforce and ask, okay, I want to buy your application for my customer information, to store my customer information. So if they buy it, they give a minimum of requirement, everything they will take up, and they just give you a minimum of requirement or like a minimum of the experience, user experience, you can just directly buy and use it for your business purpose. So that's where they have introduced some terminologies like what they call so basically we'll give some information, right? If we give some customer information, if we store some customer information in our database, so how we will be giving, we'll like saving our sheets, right? So it's a candidate information, we'll be sharing like we will be saving our candidate information sheet, and we will be saving our the whatever the products information in our system, and we'll be saving our customer information in our system. So we'll be giving some name, address. These are the common features what we save in our system whenever we save some of our customer information. So that's the same way, these name, these address, everything, these are introduced by Salesforce in different terminologies. So those the common terminologies, we call it as fields, and we'll save with a name, right? Giving all the we will save all the people, will save all the customers to a form, and we will save it with one name. So those will be called as objects in our system. So that's what, like, we have different key terms like objects, fields, the relationships, how it goes on. And when we come up with training, we only not go with a normal project and go like, okay, you can, these are the testing concepts, you can go ahead with testing concepts. These are the terms, you need to work on this, that. We'll not go in a simple way. We'll take up a Salesforce project. We will introduce most of the admin concepts as well. So I can say like a 50% you will be pro in admin concepts also. So you will be working mostly on the Salesforce projects itself. You will be learning on Salesforce projects along with the admin concepts. So admin concepts is nothing but some of the configuration part, where how the Salesforce looks like, what exactly like Salesforce calls every feature or its terminologies. So those all concepts will be taking in our training. So different terminologies for different clouds. We have Sales Cloud with different terminologies like leads, accounts, contacts, and all. And for Service Cloud, we'll go with different terminologies like cases and all. I'm not like raising up a point like objects, fields, and all, because it's new for you, mostly like most of the people. So I'm just using it as terminology. Okay. So further more you will get into detail. Okay, let's go for the next slide. So the Salesforce testing projects. So what's the scope? I like when I speak about scope, right? So how basically what is the ratio of the projects, or the how we'll be getting calls, what is the structure of the career, everything. So whenever we need a development team, obviously without testing it can't approved to a production. So that's what I can say. So testing is very important to any of the processes, the requirement, or any of the product. So what is Salesforce testing? So what are the features they have? And so basically we have different types of testings, I can say. So integration testing, they will be like, we'll have the third system. So integration testing is nothing but when the data comes from the different system to our Salesforce system, a third system, when they included a third system in the feature. So how you will test that application, and how you will be getting data from the other system. And we have different modules and where the key focus area need to be, and how the testing services will be there. So what is the functionality testing, what is the end-to-end testing. So automation testing will be a different scope, so that will be not included in this level of training, because it's completely a different type of like a testing what we does. Okay, so that's what. And mostly how our training session will go is, we'll have, I can say we have 3 modules of session. Like one will be completely on the Salesforce admin part, so which completes or holds all the configuration part of Salesforce. What is Salesforce application, what basically we have everything, like what are the terminologies, how the Salesforce application is used, and all. The other module of concept will be testing concepts. So what is testing, what levels of testing we have. Okay, so if someone can go on mute. Yeah, thank you. So the second module will be, what are the types of testings, what testing, like what is the life cycle of a testing. So what are the concepts of testing, So these all will be going on the level of second view, second module. And the third module will be how the project methodology will. So you need to deliver a product to a client in a certain period of time, right? So it will be like how you drive your project, how the manager will drive the project. There are different methodologies how real time they drive the projects. So they are called in different types of methods like waterfall, agile, a scrum process, or whatever. Like we have different methodologies. So how the basically a project is driven, and how the questions comes up on how the project is driven. Like what are the calls you have daily in your real-time project, how it goes on. So we have three modules. One is Salesforce, one is testing, and one is how the project methodologies goes on. So that's what it includes. And going to the next slide. So these are levels of testing in Salesforce. So you will be going, so in your training module, you'll be going what's the unit testing, system testing. So UAT, you have the production testing, what is the regression testing. These are the main concepts for every levels of testing in Salesforce or whatever application it is, not only for the Salesforce. So it is the path how it goes on. So who does unit testing, who does the system testing? So what is a UAT basically? It's a user acceptance testing. So who does that? So who does the production testing? Why the key team members only can have the production access? So who will be having access to that? What exactly the production testing, like how you will be supporting for a production testing? And regression testing. So regression testing, so different level of topics will come. It may be depend on the level of code, or it may be depend on the level of manual testing as well. Okay, so let me go with the other slide. So what are the roles and responsibilities of a Salesforce tester? So basically when we go with the testing process, so we need to, we have a level of testing teams as well, right? So members as well. So it may be a team who has a QA lead, someone can opt for a QA lead positions, someone can go for a testing a team member. So different levels as well is in the testing team. So who will do a test plan document? So what basically a software testing life cycle is, how it starts, how it ends. So what is a test plan document, how you create test cases. So test cases are very mandatory for a tester to learn. So everyone can have their own test case, own level of test case, own view of test case, I can say. But how to give a very good test case? Test case is something whenever new user using your application, they just need to simply see your test case and navigate to the application. So you need to write your test case in such a way that it is very understandable to a user, whoever uses your application. Then how you report your, so whenever you test the application, the best tester will prove by raising number of defects. So how much the level of defects, how much the count of defects you are, that is the range how you're testing your application. So when you come up with number of defects are nothing but you can say bugs or issues. There is some difference, but it is nothing but a bugs or issues or defects, whatever it is. So how you report it to the developer? So what's the level of like contact you will be having with the developer? How you need to interact with the developer to discuss on the level of bugs and all. What are the type you can discuss? So that's what we'll cover in the like a report to developer session and all. And then verify or validation, how you'll verify or validate your application. So that's what it will go, and how you'll close your testing life cycle. That what goes into. So these are the minimum roles and responsibilities of a Salesforce tester. Next, yeah. So once we are done with the session, then we can like we'll go with the interview tips, how you to crack, like how you people can crack an interview. And we have number of certifications in Salesforce. So what is the minimum of certification starting you can do it, and what is the first level grade of certification anyone can have, and how it gives you a career like advantage, I can say. So these tips also like SVTech will be provided for you who will be traveling with you people all time, and till you crack your interview, SVTech will help you out, like will guide you all in these related. Okay, so I think like a quick simple demo what I can give you, because like if I go into deep of any of the concepts also, it will be like a confusing to your people. So you can come up with your questions so that I can answer you, so you can get your answers. and then you can plan how you accordingly. Yeah, now it's few people.
Hi, Monica.
Yes.
Yeah, any coding is required for Salesforce testing?
No, there is no coding required. So that's what we have two levels of streams in testing, right? One is like a manual, one is like a automation. So automation requires coding. That is another level. When you come to learn automation, obviously you can learn Salesforce admin too. So like when you opt for automation, surely I can say go for the Salesforce developer itself. So the core structure you can go for. So for Salesforce manual testing, there is no need of learning coding. So it's like all the base will go on the admin structure only, where you don't need any code.
Okay, thank you.
Hi,
Hi,
Monica.
I have a question. So how
Yes.
much of opportunity do we have for a Salesforce manual testing versus automation testing?
So I hope like every day, like number of calls will be coming for a Salesforce candidate who learns testing. Okay, this I can say, because I can see how many developers needed to a project, the same way the testers need to a project. So I don't believe the word the testing don't have scope. Testing testing people will not get the interview calls and all. Just believe me, when you're ready with resume, 100% sure when you upload your resume, you'll be getting number of calls. The ratio is very high for Salesforce testing projects.
Thank you.
Hi, Monica. I'm Shiva.
Yes, Shiva.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you discussing only here manual testing or automation testing, both?
So this training is related to manual testing, Salesforce testing. When you come up with automation testing, it is completely different scope. Okay, there you need to go with a Java background. So if you go with Selenium, you need to go with a Java background. We have Python. So you need to go with different coding structure with different like language there. Okay. So coming here, you will be learning Salesforce concepts. Okay, Salesforce is something different. You have different concepts. So which you can say like 70% admin concepts. So our training feature will completely cover you all those Salesforce related topics. It's not only with the testing concepts, it also covers how the Salesforce works in the real time. And that concepts do not need coding structure.
Okay.
This is
And
for
now,
Salesforce testing.
what I understand here, you just tell that like admin part and manual testing.
Yes, yes. And
Covering
how
topics,
the
right?
project goes on a methodology and how
Sure.
to interact with the developer, how to interact with the team. So what is the daily basis of carrying a testing project? So those all you will be getting on the live project.
Okay, fine. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, next question. It's okay, like any of the question you can shoot out to me. It's not like it may be a simple question, whatever it is, you can shoot out to me. We'll discuss. No issues on that. We still have time.
What is the difference between UAT testing and a regression testing?
So basically, whenever in a simple words, I can say, so when you're delivering a product, so your team had been finished testing. Okay, so and you are delivering your product. So if after going to a production phase, maybe due to some deployment issues or whatever it is, due to some many issues, the application is not working. So then then customer coming to you and asking why it is not working. So it's basically a time waste, right? Before that, what actually it happens is your team will be doing your testing. Later, again, the customers will be doing their testing. Like I can say users, like you will not understand the difference between users and customers right away. I can say the users who will use the application, they will also do the testing from the client side, so that they will make sure that yes, our application has built correctly based on our requirement. So that's what a user acceptance testing. So once the client people had accepted their our work and our requirement, whatever they gave, we have completed in the correct base, then only it will go for the production. So they will make sure that, okay, our application is working. Let's take it to a production. So that's what a testing done by the client side people will be a UAT testing. And coming to regression testing. So you had built some features, now you have tested the application. So just think a simple example. So when you're working on a HDFC application, so first you will log in. Okay, the next feature is you will see a page, and then you will see the different types of a car loan or credit loan, a personal loan, whatever, some features you will be seeing. So first, you can't test all the application, you can't take all the requirement at one time, right? So first you will be developing one requirement, you will be finishing it up, you will be testing, and you will be deploying it to the client. Next, you will be taking one more testing, one more type of requirement. Again, you will be developing that. But the base of application, when you're developing the other functionality, you need to make sure that the before functionality which you have been working, that should not be also not affected. So again, you will be doing the minimum of existing functionality testing. You will not test whole application what you have done in the before cycle, but you will take the criticality and what dependence you have on the next cycle, and you will be doing the existing functionality testing. So when the new code is implemented, you will make sure that the before application other requirement is also working as expected. So that's what you will be doing in regression testing.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah. Yes. So anyone else have any questions?
Hi, Monica.
Yes.
Hi, Monica.
Hi.
Are you going to cover Jira tool with a Salesforce project or
Yes.
any
We'll
live projects?
right.
Jira
So
tool.
Yeah, right. So I said you like 3 modules will be dividing, right? So one is admin concepts, the other will be the testing concepts, and the other will be the methodology, right? So whenever a project is taking some methodology and delivering the project, so we will be going with the tool as well. So either it's Jira or Rally or QC or ALM, whatever it is. So we'll be giving a demo on any of the 2 of the tools as well, so that how the like a user story is stored and what is the requirement, how the tester need to take the requirement, on what requirement they need to focus. So what is a negative testing, what is a positive testing, so these all will be focused on the requirement. So how you will be taking that requirement, that's what from a tool, right? So we'll be focusing on tools as well. So we'll be covering by taking some of any of the tool, and we will show you like how the tool status, everything, how it will be going the real time, like how we work on the tools. So those also we'll be covering in our training session.
Thank you. For interviews, we will be getting any projects to use.
Yes. So daily you will be working on like whenever you come up with whenever you go with Salesforce testing, whenever you join one session, it's not only like every day you'll have some project, you'll just learn something, you just go off. It's not that way. We have a trailhead process where in Salesforce it is like you can daily work on it. It's a real-time application you can get once you log into Salesforce trailheads. You'll have all the like a view of it's a, you can simply say like a spoon feeding, like you will get all the data there and you can learn it, and you will have the challenges and you can work on Salesforce application, a real-time application. I can say, like I can't say like it's a project application, but you can know what is what, you can navigate to everything. So daily you will have something to work on. So once after you finish your class, you can work on a Salesforce application later point of view in the other time of your day. So it's very easy to like, it's not like because if you take some other application, we can't give access to the other applications or something so that you can work around. But coming to Salesforce application, we do have trailheads, and you can simply log into Salesforce application as well, and you can do a lot of work around there.
Okay, thank you.
Hi, Monica. Are you cover the integration testing?
Mostly not. It's like integration testing requires API code and all, the rest SOAP and all that comes again into the coding structure. Okay. But how the
Okay.
integration testing goes on and how every project mostly they have integration testing, but they'll not work on API code and all. Okay. They'll simply transfer the data from one system to other and they will check how the integration testing works and all. Okay. So that class we will be going on what basically integration testing is, and when it comes to integration project, like how you'll be working or not. But deep of the integration like type of testing will not go on because it depends on the API tool again.
Oh,
It needs the coding background again.
okay, fine.
Okay. So we will be learning about this data migrations, import,
Yeah.
export testing. We will
Yes,
do
right.
that all.
Yes, because data testing is also an important feature while you go with a career. Okay, so if something like mostly you can get a data migration project, then you need to know how the data is exported, how the data is imported, and how you need to test that data. So even that also will cover in our training module. So we
Okay.
have different tools for the data migration, like a data export or import. So we'll go with any of the tool and we will explain you how. So you can use that tool in your real-time project also. So it's the same tools, Workbench or Salesforce Inspector or what, like those tools as like everyone will like in real-time projects also use. So we'll cover those as well.
Okay. I heard about this accelerators, Salesforce using the accelerator or something. Is there anything like that?
What was it? Can you repeat for me?
Salesforce accelerator or something for
That is
testing
like,
purpose.
I think Salesforce Inspector. You mean Inspector?
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah.
But
It's one of the like you can say an extension tool where so Salesforce have different features. I said right. So we go with different terminal like page layouts. If you need to see some data on the layout or the fields on layout, but basically they are hidden from the back end. But you need to see on the front end to test it, right? But you are not seeing those fields. How you need to verify your data? So that time you will be using a. It's a very good extension tool where simply you can drag out, you can add that extension, you can drag out, and you can see the data from the back end. So these workbenches, this Salesforce Inspector, these are the tools where you can import, export data, and you can see the backend fields data, and you can query and you can find what are the records you have in your Salesforce. And when you want number of records, right, to test it, so you can't go on one record manually. So then you will just log into a workbench or a Salesforce Inspector, just query it. So and you will find the records. Also minimum query also, like we can go for that classes in training module. So for that, the Salesforce Inspector and Workbench, a data loader, these will be useful. We will go with Salesforce Inspector for sure.
okay. For the Salesforce Inspector and other one you said, right? Something.
Workbench, yeah, right.
A workbench. For workbench, we need a Apex code or something.
No, not needed, not
Should
needed.
know
See,
about
we are not going into
Apex.
deep of something, see, only which are required for our testing process in any of the project, that much we will be learning, right? So Workbench does not need any Apex coding or something. Apex coding is something where a backend Salesforce customization part needs to work on. So that is not nothing we can do upon. Okay, we'll be going on Workbench, how you need to export some data for your testing, import some data for your testing, how you can collect your records or data for your testing. That's what we will do on Workbench. So that covers your testing prospect of concepts.
Monica, are you cover SQL?
not like we'll not go into deep of it, but I said, right, so you need to drag some data for testing. So a minimal level of query we will go, but not deep into SQL. Can't like we'll not go into deep of the SQL because that requires a lot of training sessions again, right? So that
Okay.
will not deeply cover in our testing Salesforce testing training module, but a minimum
How
of
much
like
we
how
need, you just
yeah,
explain
yeah,
that.
for testing project how much you need, that we
Okay.
will go.
Sure. Okay, thank you.
So anyone, any more questions? Okay, so can I think it's done? So otherwise you can raise your hand. Okay, then all good. So Kishore, I think like everyone are good with their questions. So can we like wrap up the class?
Yeah, sure, definitely. Yeah. Thanks for Monica. Thanks everyone to join for this demo session. As we are planning to start the regular batch from Wednesday onwards, guys, okay, are you okay with the same time, 7:30 a.m. IST?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. As we are planning to start the
Is
regular
it,
batch.
sorry, is it a regular daily classes? Yes.
Monica, can you please answer?
Yeah, I hope like mostly Saturday, Sunday you will not be having, but if much more interested for Saturday as well, we can take up on Saturday. But Sunday I say no. So mostly it will be regular classes. Saturday, the count of students and the count of like how you prefer, like most of the students prefer, and Sunday is like off.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So-
Okay, everyone. Sorry. Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah. So thanks everyone for joining this session. So I think something like you understood a bit. Maybe I can't say like deep of any of the Salesforce concepts, but this is what like we will be covering our training session, and SPTech will be helping you out in your interview process or like in your certification process or whatever it is, like outsourcing, I can say, and you can travel along with them as well till you get you placed in any of the job concept. Yes. So Kishore, yes, I'm done.
Yes. Okay. Okay, Monica. Yeah. Thanks a lot. Thanks everyone for joining today's demo. We'll be stopped for today's demo as we are planning to start regular batch from Wednesday, 21st December. Okay. If you want to enroll, then please contact to svtechsoft, as well as I message you the course purchase link, right? You can purchase the course through online. Yeah. Okay, guys, let me stop for today's demo. Thanks, everyone. Thanks for your time. Bye.
Thank you.